Hey everyone, and welcome to Screams After Midnight. I am Peter, that is Tim. We talk about horror movies on this show, and in this episode, we are for some reason starting yet another franchise. We are looking at Critters, the first Critters film on this episode. Tim, had you seen Critters before?
Oh yeah, of course.
Just checking. This was about it. I'd seen them all before as well.
I think this first one I actually rewatched recently. I think I watched it sometime last year because for a while they were all streaming, and then I had meant to go through them all, and then just got busy with other stuff. So the other ones I haven't seen as recently, so I'm really excited for that. And I just got the fancy new Blu-ray box set that Scream Factory put out. So everything's looking nice, and I'm excited to go through them.
So we'll start spoiler free, as we always do, and we'll give you a warning in the middle before we go into spoilers. So, Critters is a movie about small aliens who have escaped from an alien prison, which actually is one of the things I forgot. I hadn't seen this in a long time. I'd forgotten there was actually like a sort of prison escape scene in space, and there's like, like actual, like the actual sci-fi side of it, but they escape and they come towards Earth. 2 bounty hunters are sent after them from space as well, and the bounty hunters can like change their face to look like human. And they end up landing near this farmhouse, which is our main family of the film lives, which has Dee Wallace, who's a staple of 80s mums. she's the mum of the family. We have a ginger son. He's very ginger. Just pointing out. We have a young Billy Zane as the boyfriend to the teenage daughter.
Phantom himself.
The Phantom. That's what your mind goes to, the Phantom.
Yeah.
I thought a season 2 of Twin Peaks, I would maybe think of Titanic.
I just forget he's in Twin Peaks.
Yeah, he's in the bad section, like he's in the really shitty section that everyone likes to forget. But
to be fair, I would say his best role, which I don't think you've seen this movie, but we'll probably be doing soon. But Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight is probably the actual thing I think of him for.
Oh really? Okay, his best role, you say?
I'd stake my my beard on it.
Interesting. Do you know something that I didn't even realize? Although I can actually see it now that I've looked at the credits.
What's that?
Lynn Shay was in this.
Oh yeah. She plays the secretary.
Yeah, the police station. Yeah.
Which it makes sense because I forgot it, but this is actually a New Line Cinema joint. So,
yeah, and her husband is the head of New Line Cinema, so.
But
it's what I never even realized. It was just I read the name there and I was like, oh yeah, that was her. Shit. I'm so used to her as an old lady, right? Seeing her middle aged is weird.
No, it's funny because it's like she's not like super young, but you're used to seeing her more as like the much older. But I mean, still very good. But the older star of the was it Insidious franchise?
Yeah.
And more movies all over, but
yeah, she does cameos in here or there. I mean, remember she was in that really bad one called The Black Door, I think it was called.
Oh yeah,
that was a sex demon.
Yeah, I think she's in a new one this year, The Final Wish, which I don't know if it came out yet, but I know she has one.
I don't know, sounds bad. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds bad.
After Wish Upon, I'm kind of like very trepidatious of Wish movies.
I think I was always hesitant when it came to Wish movies, Tim.
Okay. It's a weird brag.
Name me one movie that with Wish in the title that was good.
Well, I mean, we haven't done them yet, but Wishmaster certainly has its, its claim to fame.
I haven't seen Wishmaster, but I'm making some assumptions based on the, I don't know, the name.
I mean, all you need to do is there's a god damn it there's a line my friend always quotes that's very funny. I think it's something like there's a cop or something and he's talking to someone and he's like, or maybe it's the Wishmaster himself, but he's like, tell them there's a killer on the loose killing people with wishes or like something stupid like that, but it's a very funny line.
Mazes and Monsters is a far out game, but it's just a game. Is it? We have to do Mazes and Monsters someday. Actually, that's actually.
I would love to do that. Yeah, I only know the like kind of like the crazy ending scene with Tom Hanks, but I would definitely love to do it. That sounds like a one of the Patreon bonus episodes. It
Oh
sounds like a
yeah.
good one for that.
Oh yeah, we'll lure them in with
Yeah.
mazes and monsters. Which, if you don't know what that is, that was a paranoid back when Dungeons and Dragons became successful. People were worried that it was actually turning kids into like Satanists. So this was a satanic panic kind of like all kids are going to play D&D and become like monsters, and this was kind of the movie.
Yeah.
This was to like warn parents that your kids might get injured with D&D.
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks is in it. It's the whole thing. So anyway, so critters. You got the family, you got the farmhouse, you got the goofball who believes in aliens, who's kind of weird to be honest, but he works at the farmhouse with the dad, so he's kind of friends with the son, who's pretty young, obviously. And then we have a couple of other minor characters throughout the town who we kind of see here or there. That is the premise of Critters. Tim, do you enjoy the first Critters?
I do. I feel like it is similar to some other franchises we've covered, like Child's Play and everything, where this is like a good way to set up the series, but I feel like the series reaches its height in the sequels. Because I mean, I love the critters themselves. I think it's a very simple but very cool, fun design. And I actually, like you said, I also always forget that, like, they're like space prisoners. But I actually kind of love how like crazy, the opening space sequence is. But I feel like there's kind of a big drag from that sequence up until kind of like the last third or whatever, once we're actually starting to have all the critter action and nonsense, and I don't know, and I don't feel like the characters, the human characters, stand out a ton.
Not a ton
in this movie. So it's good. I like it, but it is definitely like has that first movie problem where it's not really, it doesn't become what you think of it yet.
I feel like the horror genre is the only genre where the first movie might be the one that has the problem, because most of the time the first movie is the best one. No, I kind of agree. This first one is very simple, and it's very it's almost like the prototype for what the series would become, rather than the actual realization of it. But like I love the subtitles for the critters themselves when they're speaking to each other.
Those are great. Yeah.
Those are really funny. I do think, like, I find movies like this comfort food. Like, all the stuff you said dragged, like when you get to the family and you're interested in them, right? It's not great. There's definitely better examples of better characters in other movies, there's better families in other movies. But there is something comfortable about these 80s tropes of the family, the annoying little brother, the teenage sister who hates her little brother. Dee Wallace, of course, is always pleasant to sort of see. But so it feels very comfortable in that sense. It's not the best of any of these things, but
like I guess I should say, like, I don't necessarily think it's a drag, like it's super boring to watch or anything. It's just maybe like takes a while to amp up. Like, it's not unpleasant to watch it, and the movie is only like 89 minutes or something like that. It's pretty short, so it's not like it drags or anything. But I just think I like when I rewatch it, I always forget, like, oh yeah, it does take like a little bit for the critters nonsense to start happening.
Yeah, because the dad's got a bowling night to go to. His bowling team has got a knockoff Ghostbusters shirt with a bowling pin in it.
I think actually I was watching it with my wife yesterday, and she when she saw that, she was like, "Wait, is that guy a Ghostbuster?" I was like, "Oh no, there's like a lot of like very like blatant knockoff or reference stuff. Like there's like an ET reference, and the whole movie kind of feels like a Gremlins ripoff. To be honest, like I think it's different enough, but it's it's its own thing. But it's clear what it's going for.
It's funny because it's a Gremlins knockoff, but it doesn't have the same inventiveness that Gremlins does. Gremlins does a lot of things with the Gremlins. Like Gremlins is full of practical effects, and well, I think the effects on the critters themselves are fine. Like they're actually kind of likable.
Oh yeah.
This is a much simpler. This definitely feels much closer to a lower budget, just B movie schlock thing. Whereas Gremlins, it feels like you've got the sort of the A version of this idea. This is definitely the B movie. Just they attack some people, they have to try and survive, and we've got these cheesy alien dudes with the big guns looking for the critters.
Yeah, which I think I'm a little more invested in that plot than like the stuff with the family. Like I got really excited whenever we go back to the alien bounty hunters. Again, it's kind of like so like big and crazy. and like them, like changing their faces and like watching like a full on rock music video to get
which is
that guy's face.
how one of them gets the face, yeah. Because at first when they were watching that, I thought, oh, I'll just put the tie-in song for the movie, and they've actually put a bit of the music video in. But then he turns into the face, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right. So this was a setup for how he gets his face. Okay. But yeah, no, but there's some fun this humor here or there. It's very schlocky. Like it's the sort of thing where I can't blame anyone if they hate this. I really can't. It's not a
Sure.
good movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like a very like dedicated like a group of people that like this kind of stuff. Like I know one of my friends absolutely loves this stuff. Like he's a big fan of the to steal the term from Community, the knee-high mischief genre. So he loves stuff like this and Gremlins and everything, like any kind of small crazy creature thing, which but I don't blame him. That's a lot of fun. I like those kind of movies as well. And this might be, I would say this is probably like the best like horror example of it. Like I like Gremlins a lot, but it's I think this maybe embraces the horror more and goes a little bit more for the like gore and kind of like violence and stuff to it, which I'm all here for that.
Well, Gremlins I think it's a PG, so Gremlins is meant to be more
a little more family friendly.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong, I still love Gremlins and everything, but I think they say like the original script to Gremlins was like a much more hard, like the Gremlins were like killing people and throwing decapitated heads like out of windows and stuff. Like it almost feels like maybe they're like, I don't know if they heard about that and they're like, well, hey, let's do that. Like we'll do like the R-rated version.
Yeah, that's it.
Even I think it's PG-13, but
is this PG-13?
I thought it was. It could be wrong. Maybe it's R. I don't know.
I'm gonna check. Now you've put this in my head here. Where is it? Oh, it's been weird.
I know there's one F-bomb for sure.
It's probably R. I don't think the one F-bomb rule happened for PG-13 till later.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure it's R. I think it's a fun time. I think, but like I say, I don't think like if this sounds stupid to you, it's going to be stupid. Like you're not going to have any fun here.
Yeah.
It's a cheesy, schlocky 80s movie about, like you say, knee-high mischievous creatures who are killing, and probably some of the funniest moments in the film are when they swear because like the subtitle comes up saying so.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, I guess we'll get spoilers so we can talk about it. Although there's not really a whole lot to spoil in the grand sense of it.
Yeah.
So the family end up being trapped in the house. The Gremlins are kind of like cutting the power. They're cutting the phone lines. Sorry, the critters. Sorry, yes. Freudian slip there. Sorry, I apologize.
Critters or krites,
Krites.
as some will call them.
That's the alien term for them, yes. But to us, they're critters. Damn it. So,
and I love that. It's such like a comic book trope of like, this like alien word or whatever just sounds just like close enough to like the actual human word.
Yeah. Yeah. No one actually calls them critters in this, though, do they?
Not that I remember.
Yeah, I don't remember any either.
I think if they do, it's probably not a very like. They might have mentioned it like in passing, but not like a line that really draws attention. Like no one was ever like, get those critters, like or anything like that.
There's not a lot of deaths in the side. There's like one cop dies and then the boyfriend dies, and that's kind of it. Everyone else kind of survives.
Yeah. Actually, you know what I kind of love though is I love the fact that like the dad keeps getting it. Like they like chose one character that just to like constantly get attacked.
He does get pretty beat up, but that is true. He has some really weird lines. Like see when like the daughter brings the boyfriend home and he's got this fancy car and he's like, oh, this is an expensive toy, and she's like, oh yeah, his dad just give it to him for his birthday. And he sort of it's like a sports car, and he sort of leans over and goes, can't haul a lot of hay in this. I know. Just because you're a farmer doesn't mean everyone else is a farmer. Like, yeah. I get that going for the sort of the hick father kind of, and the daughter's like dating the rich boyfriend kind of thing. But like, it just felt so like that is especially out of touch in a way that I was not expecting. Because there's a joke later on as well, like after she leaves dinner with the boyfriend, where he turns to the wife, Dee Wallace, and goes, hey, have you had a talk with her about the way things are? And she's like, yes, years ago, honey. Years ago.
Yeah, this guy doesn't know what's going on. He needs to uh, join the current century.
Yes, that man is stuck in the 1920s.
Yeah. That's another thing, though. I do like that this is like a very, even though we start in outer space, it is like a very like small town movie, which I always like those. Those are nice once you kind of get like a feeling of the people in the town. I feel like maybe you could explore it a little bit more, but it's good.
Yeah, decent amount. You got the crazy alien loon who believes aliens are coming. You got the Reverend. You got the sheriff. And you got of course, Lynchy at the sheriff's office, who's constantly calling around people. So you get this sense of everyone being connected through her, even though, they're all kind of spread out.
Yeah.
Like you said, the fun subplot is probably the aliens looking for the critters, because they come across the dead cop, and they drive the car backwards. They end up blowing the church apart, and then get into a fight in the bowling alley. And I have to criticize them, because when they eventually do come, because eventually the young kid, the ginger, gets out of the house, and he finds them. And they're like, oh, you're talking about critters, where are they? And, he takes them back to the house. They just start blowing holes through the house. And they're just like, and they're really bad at their job. They barely kill any, because we see critters die in a bunch of ways. We see, firecrackers in the mouth, which makes one keel over. We get one that's the shotgun blast, which was the funny one, because that's what got the F-bomb from the other critter, because the two of them was like, they've got weapons, and then the door just opens and one of them just explodes with a shotgun. He's like F, and he just runs off. I also really enjoyed the let's roll before they start, because one of the things they do is they roll like a ball.
Oh yeah.
So he's like, let's roll, and they start rolling. I thought it was funny. But they're really bad at their job, to the point where they barely kill any of them. It's mostly the family who take out most of the critters. And at the end, so one of the critters gets bigger and bigger because he's been eaten. So he's like 5 foot tall at this point. And they end up, at the end of the movie, they chase them all back to their spaceship, and they're going to leave. But the ginger, as he's saving his sister, because apparently they kidnapped the sister for a snack later, I guess. And the ginger drops his giant firecracker. And now, don't get me wrong, I love that the critters blew up their house on the way out. Like, they're flying away from the planet, and they're like, you know what? Let's just blow up their house because they're being dicks to us. And they blow up the family's house, and it just cuts to the critters just going, like, that really made me laugh. The idea that they're just having fun with the fact that they just destroyed this family's house.
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool that they're like, they're violent, they have this insatiable hunger and everything, but also they're little stinkers. They'll get you.
I mean, they're definitely mischievous, I guess. That was a good word to use. But right after that, the firecracker that was lit goes off, and it immediately just blows up their entire ship. And I went, wait a minute. This was still just a firecracker. Why did the ship immediately explode?
Yeah, I was trying to think, like, wait, did I miss something? Like, did they, I don't know, mention something about like dynamite or something at some point? Like, it really is just like a firecracker. I mean, even if it's like a big professional one, I don't think it would explode a spaceship.
And I mean, even if there was like gas leaking or something like that, it would go off before it explodes. The fuse would still be lit. It just didn't make any sense, is what I'm saying. And then, so the kid and one of the alien dudes have kind of bonded a little bit because he saved them at one point. So he gives him this like communicator and says, "Call me," and I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then they go back to the house. They're all sad because their house is in like ruins. And the music here was very like dark as well. It reminded me of music from Alien. Like, it had this really dark music playing, and I'm like, this feels out of tone for what the movie is, but whatever.
Yeah.
So the kid presses the button, and it makes the house reform. So the aliens this whole time had this technology to reform collapsed structures at the very least. I don't even know what to call it. It's so random and out of nowhere, and I'm like, you couldn't have used that in the church that you like wrecked half of the front of. You couldn't have used that in other. And what's the bet in this doesn't come back in the other three movies?
Oh yeah, I would almost guarantee it.
Yeah, this was just a random Deus Ex Machina at the end to give the family a happy ending.
Yeah. It is like it is a cool effect, but yeah, it is weird and seems unnecessary. There's a funny joke with the cat gets dragged into it.
Yeah, the cat survived. That's the important part. The cat did live.
Oh yeah, if they just walked in and like the cat was just like, dissected into the wall, that would be horrifying. But it's a funny joke. But he ends up in the mailbox. You know, I was looking at some of the special features on it, and they have like an alternate ending. So I was like, "Ooh, this could be cool. I'll go ahead and watch this." And like, it's pretty much just the same thing, except for the house doesn't reform. And I'm like, okay,
That was, I mean, you had to see that, Tim. Had to be seen to be believed.
yeah. It's just I feel like I've given up on like deleted scenes and alternate endings. It used to be my favorite thing when I get like a new DVD. Be like, I'm gonna watch the alternate ending, and they're never good.
No, they're always either very subtle or there's a reason why they get rid of it, so it's never that interesting.
Like the Army of Darkness one is probably the most interesting. Like I wouldn't say it's better than the actual ending, but like it's probably the most interesting one to watch, I guess. But
yeah,
I can't think of any other ones that were like really cool to watch.
Although Army of Darkness, I mean, on the director's cut, it does have the alternate ending.
Oh, true.
Yeah. But I prefer the theatrical cut, though. I think the theatrical cut's better paced, Army of Darkness, but not everyone shares my sentiment.
And it fits in. Oh, it fits into the show too.
As well, yeah, because obviously if you went to the future like you did in that, then the show can't happen. So continuity. Diplomatic continuity. Anyway,
what the?
it's a reference to another show. If you don't get that joke, it's fine. Just move on with your lives. It's fine. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess if I have complaints here, is I wish there was more Critters action, and I wish the characters were more likable.
Yeah. No, I think that's totally fair. And you know, when I'm thinking about this, like I do have like specific images in my mind, like stuff like a critter in a toilet and like a giant critter ball, and I think a lot of that comes from the sequels. I think specifically the second one, I think is a lot of the more iconic stuff comes from that. So you still get like a lot of fun critter action in this, but not as much as you're hoping for. And then a lot of the stuff that I remember comes from later on.
Yeah, everything in this one is very simple and basic, and some of it's fun, don't get me wrong, but it does feel like all the memorable moments don't come till the sequels. But they really get wacky with it, and they do fun stuff. So so unfortunately, I mean, it leaves this one feeling a bit lukewarm by comparison.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's still some things to like if you like sort of schlocky B movies, and
definitely, yeah.
That's basically it.
I forget that the critters can also launch spikes.
That's right, yeah. Which like numbs the area or paralyzes the area for a set amount of time. Yeah, that's right. That's right. They're dangerous. You gotta watch out for those critters. All right, I guess we're done. It was a short review, but I'm not really surprised.
I mean, it's hard because like usually, like when we do the reviews and stuff, we can go into like specific kills and stuff. But like you said, there's not really like a lot of kills, and like the most of the stuff, like the most of the violent stuff is usually is just kind of them like jumping on someone and biting them. Like there's not like a ton of variety really.
Yeah. No,
I mean, it's still cool and fun to watch, but it's not something you can really dissect for an hour.
No, not really. So sometimes movies just aren't open for greater interpretation. But hey, I wonder if 2, 3, and 4 will offer us more juicy meat to chew on, as it were.
So I wonder if this is still under New Line Cinema, because then if it is, technically that would mean it would be owned by Warner Brothers, which means we could see some DC Critters crossover at some point in the future, maybe.
Why did you go with DC Critters?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what else do you?
Why wouldn't you go to like I don't know, The Conjuring or something? I don't know.
Maybe.
But you're like, no. I want to see Superman versus Critters.
Yeah, why not? That could be fun. I mean, Superman's fun, aliens and predators, and why not Critters?
I always remember in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, Raphael comes out of the movie theater, and it was Critters that he was seeing. There's a Critters poster behind him.
Oh, that's fun.
And that was also New Line Cinema, so it was
It seems like a Raph movie.
That's so Raph.
Yeah.
It's a little too Raph.
Okay.
That was a reference to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze.
Well, just because you had the word "two" in there?
Well, no, because there's a scene where the Raph's been like captured and they're going to get Raph. It's like, that seems Raph a little because there's build up where like this seems easy, a little too easy.
Oh,
This seems
okay.
quiet, a little too quiet. Hey, it's Raph,
Oh, yeah.
a little too Raph. That was
Oh,
the joke.
he gets he gets kidnapped in the second one too. Oh well, because well, I guess he doesn't get kidnapped in the first one, but he goes off by himself in the first one.
Yeah, the first one he gets his ass kicked, and he's like knocked out for a while.
Mhm.
I'm sure it's Raph that's kidnapped in the second one. No, not for long.
Yeah,
It's a
Oh,
very
it's just
quick plot
funny.
beat, but
Oh no, yeah, it's just funny that in each movie he always ends up on his own at some point.
it's because he's headstrong. He goes off half cocked, and then
Mhm.
he's like, "Nah, teamwork is how we defeat this, Master Splinter." Quite right.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yes, my sons."
That's why he's the best.
I like Raph the best too. He's my favorite turtle.
Mhm. Mhm.
Raph, then Leo, then Donnie, and then in last place easily Michelangelo.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I think Raph is usually my number one, but it's the other spots are usually a toss up depending on how I'm feeling. I like them all. They're all good.
All right, that's Critters. That's the first Critters movie. I guess I would expect lighter reviews of these movies because there's not that
Mhm.
much in depth we can go into beyond talking about the set pieces and what the characters are like. But hey,
It's a light snack.
as a light snack, absolutely, that's exactly what it is. It's comfort food. But if you're rating it, Timbo, what are you rating it?
Yeah. I mean, and I hate to go this low because I do like the movie, but I feel I'm not gonna go super high, so I'm gonna give it like a 6.5, which I think is like it might feel low, but I think this is like, hey, it's good, but it's not perfect, and there's better stuff to come.
If anything,
But
Tim, I think that seems high.
really, all right,
Yeah,
all
I mean,
right.
I think this is like a 5.5. I think this is
Interesting.
it's a 5.5 I enjoy. I think it's a really easy
Mhm.
watch. I can put it on, but it's definitely something like I wouldn't sit and just watch this. Like I'll have this on while I'm playing the game, or I'll have this
Sure.
on while I'm doing something else. Like it's just it's that type of movie, and it's actually really fine. It's very, like I say, it's comfort food, but it's got no nutritional value of any kind.
Mhm.
And that's okay,
Yeah,
but
that's
that's
fine.
what it is. But we'll see, because I've not seen these movies in a long time, so I'm really excited to see 2, 3, and 4, and whatever. So we're actually going to be doing these pretty much back to back. You'll be seeing these roll out over the next couple of weeks, and they are going to be shorter reviews, but you are going to be getting like 2 a week essentially while we're rolling through these. So it's kind of made up for in the sense you're getting 2 a week. So
Yeah.
look
We
out
don't need to
for-
apologize.
Of course not. Of course not. Oh no, I tell a lie. You're not technically getting 2 a week. Technically, you're not.
Yeah. Well.
You're getting 1 week. You're getting that. Because this is second in the week because you got your top 10 of 2018 this week, and then you get
Right.
this. So this is the second thing this week. So it's okay that it's short. All right.
Yeah.
There we go. That is us though. So thank you for joining us on Screams After Midnight. But that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching scary movies, guys, and we will see you next time.